Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bold Beautiful Diaries. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. In Italy, Nick reflects on the moment he met Brooke, smoking a cigar and introducing himself as Captain Nick Payne. That moment marked the beginning of their friendship. As he stares out across the water, memories of their bond come flooding back. Meanwhile, Brooke is in her suite, reminiscing about her conversation with Ridge the day before. She had expressed her frustration about them not being together, a sentiment that still lingers in her heart. Elsewhere, in another suite, Eric is in Ridge's ear, reminding him that time is running out. He warns that Nick isn't going to back down easily. Eric acknowledges Ridge's promise to Taylor, but he doesn't shy away from pointing out that Brooke is the true love of Ridge's life. Ridge attempts to reassure himself that Brooke doesn't need a man in her life, and especially not someone like Marone. Eric, donning a noticeably bright pink shirt and puffy vest, tries to make his case. Taylor might be steady and secure, but Brooke stirs the soul. Ridge wisely cuts him off before he goes too far. Still, Eric presses on, telling Ridge that he shouldn't hold Brooke's CEO decision against her any longer. His reaction may have been too extreme, and now it's time to make things right. Ridge eventually finds himself outside Brooke's suite, knocking on her door. But Brooke is wearing her earphones and doesn't hear him. After a pause, Ridge walks away, unable to connect. Back at the dock, Nick has a moment alone where he pulls out a small ring box, gazing thoughtfully at the engagement ring inside. That's when Eric suddenly appears, and it doesn't take long for him to figure out that Nick intends to skip past the dating stage and propose to Brooke. Inside her suite, Brooke reads a heartfelt message from Nick, clearly touched. But before she can fully absorb the moment, Eric shows up, knocking on the door and looking agitated. He claims he's searching for Ridge, but quickly pivots to warn Brooke. After she shares how much she's enjoying Naples, Eric gets serious. He cautions her not to let Nick take advantage of the emotional space she's in. With a concerned tone, he says, "Don't give in to Nick." But Brooke brushes it off. She's on her way to meet him. And just like that, she leaves Eric alone in a space that holds more history than either of them care to admit. Over in Los Angeles, at the hospital, Finn and Bridget are reviewing Liam's questionable surgery. Finn is especially troubled and insists it's time to talk to Grace Buckingham today. They review the circumstances again, both agreeing that something about the situation still doesn't make sense. As they continue going over the inconsistencies, Grace finally arrives. Finn puts on his most authoritative tone as he questions her about Liam Spencer's miraculous recovery. But Grace, sidestepping the pressure, gives a vague reply and insists they'll just have to trust her. With that, she hurries off, leaving more questions than answers. Back at the Forrester mansion, Katie briefly steps away from her PR duties to stir the pot. She pays Taylor a visit, clearly aiming to provoke comments about Ridge being in Italy with Brooke. It doesn't go over smoothly. Before long, the two are debating whether Brooke should be with Ridge or Nick. Katie intensifies the tension by revealing that Eric supports the idea of Ridge and Brooke being together. Taylor, clearly ruffled, insists that even if Eric tries something in Italy, it won't work. She's convinced Brooke will return engaged to Nick. Katie smirks and replies, "You're quite the optimist." Taylor, undeterred, stands firm in her belief. Meanwhile, in Italy once again, Brooke is waiting to meet Nick, but her thoughts drift to Ridge. We're taken through another montage of past memories, including the emotional reunion through the keyhole in Rome. Just as her mind is swimming in memories, Ridge quietly appears and taps her on the shoulder. The Bold and the Beautiful tease a whirlwind of emotions and unfolding mysteries as Ridge Forrester finds himself on edge over Nick Marone's ring for Brooke Logan, while John Finn Finnegan remains unable to stop chasing the truth. At the hospital, Finn and Bridget Forrester finally manage to press Grace for answers. However, despite their efforts, Grace remains tight-lipped and offers little clarity regarding the so-called advanced procedure that Liam Spencer reportedly underwent. Still, Finn's instincts won't let him rest. He remains determined to review Liam's complete medical file, especially since none of this adds up in his mind. Although Grace urges Finn to have faith in her and discourages further probing, Finn simply can't let go of the inconsistencies. He'll keep pushing for the truth, knowing that something feels off. As he digs deeper, Finn will come to a startling realization that Grace may be involved in a suspicious medical deception. What exactly she's hiding is still unclear, but Finn is inching closer to the truth with each passing moment. A major discovery is just around the corner, and Finn's persistence will soon pay off in a big way. Meanwhile, back at the Forrester estate, Eric Forrester will express urgent concern to Ridge after catching a glimpse of Nick's engagement ring meant for Brooke. Seeing that ring sends Eric into full alert mode. He becomes more motivated than ever to help Ridge and Brooke reconnect before Nick can make his move. Once Ridge learns about Nick's romantic proposal plan, his reaction is immediate and intense. Panic sets in as he realizes he may lose Brooke for good if he doesn't act fast. Ridge will soon hatch a plan to intercept Brooke's outing with Nick, determined to put a stop to it before she's swept away by another man's promises. Meanwhile, Nick is doing everything in his power to charm Brooke. He pulls out all the stops, creating a lavish romantic atmosphere and making Brooke feel like royalty. Eventually, Brooke accepts Nick's invitation to join him on his boat. But while trying to relax on the deck, she makes an unfortunate move, sprawling out on the back of the vessel. That position proves to be less than ideal and paves the way for an unexpected mishap when Nick briefly loses control. The situation takes a dramatic turn as Brooke finds herself falling overboard, sparking a moment of panic. But just when things look grim, help is on the horizon in the nick of time, plunging into the water to save Brooke from danger. His daring rescue underscores just how far he's willing to go to protect the woman he still loves. Eric Forrester spots Nick Marone holding an engagement ring and immediately alerts Ridge. He's convinced that Nick is planning to propose to Brooke, and he warns Ridge to act fast. Once Ridge hears what Eric saw, he becomes distressed. Knowing Brooke is emotionally vulnerable, he fears Nick might win her over. Ridge decides to take dramatic action to stop the proposal before it's too late. Nick does indeed board a speedboat with Brooke, intending to pop the question surrounded by the picturesque Italian sea. He plans a charming and earnest proposal, but all may not go as planned. Brooke lounges on the back of Nick's boat, but an accident happens. She ends up falling into the water. It's a tense moment as things go sideways just as Nick intends to close the deal. As Nick's romantic gesture collapses, Ridge arrives on another boat and dives in to save Brooke. This dramatic rescue reignites Ridge's intense feelings, reminding him and Brooke of their deep bond. This unsettling moment is poised to be a turning point. Ridge's heroic rescue could stir old feelings and set the stage for Brooke and Ridge to reunite, leaving Nick shocked and possibly walking away forever. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Finn is interrogating Grace Buckingham about the legitimacy of Liam Spencer's brain cancer treatment. She evades details early on, but Finn is determined to see the full medical records and isn't buying her excuses. The bold and the beautiful promise heart-pounding drama ahead as Brooke experiences a terrifying ordeal and Ridge takes a bold leap to bring her back to safety. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.